France Telecom profits are down. For a little more insight behind the numbers, I'm now joined on the phone by Gervais Pellissier. He's the Deputy CEO for France Telecom. Mr. Pellissier, thank you so much for joining us. Now, in terms of what we've heard, those profits actually fell, but less than expected because you've been adding more customers. Is 2011 going to be a more difficult year than last year?
We think, so first of all, good morning. We think that, especially on the French market, the situation will be a little more agitated in terms of commercial activity. You know that all existing operators are preparing to the arrival of the fourth entrant, and this creates probably more commercial pressure on the market. However, the results at the end of the year have been good. This is the month of December has been the best ever achieved in terms of mobile recruitment.
The figures are pretty good in terms of you've beaten actually what analysts were saying, and we'll have to see what the share price reaction is to that. But going forward, you will have your margin squeezed, or how can you, for example, try and convince customers that you'll be able to charging them for bandwidth?
You're right. Regarding 2011, we expect some slight revenue increase for the group. This is the view, including a slight revenue increase in France. However, there is a squeeze of margin due to two things. One, this is the regulatory pressure. There is still about 300 million euro loss by the group in terms of MTR cuts, roaming cuts, and the rest is right. This is some pressure more on voice than on data. We see a stronger increase of the data ARPU.
And in terms of what you see, for example, in North Africa, are you concerned? Of course, France Telecom wants to be very present in those markets, either through acquisitions or through organic growth. The unrest will hinder your plans to aggressively go into those markets?
We have been in Africa and Middle East for now more than 20 years, and we are used to some unrest in those countries. It has happened at several occasions. And what do we see? In Tunisia, the business has not stopped and is growing. And in Egypt, after, let's say, about 7 days of difficulties, all our shops are open, and the business is really taking off again.
Mr. Pellissier, we have certainly seen unrest in those countries before, but maybe not to this extent. How concerned are you that this will spread and that this will, last for years?
Two points on that. First of all, such an unrest, and a lot of people speaking about it have been speaking about the internet revolution, is rather good for our business. Those moves have come through mobile, through internet usage. So this shows an increase of our networks, and to a certain extent, the extension of freedom and of freedom of speech, freedom of contact is rather good for a business, a telecom business, because it means that people are using more and more the tools. So it's rather beneficial for the business in the medium term. Now there could be a few issues in the short term because the moves are becoming more tragic, but that's we think it's rather temporary.
All right, Mr. Gervais Pellissier, thank you so much for joining us.